Hello students, today we shall discuss about solutions. Solution may be two types, one is true solution, another is colloid solution. True solution means the dissolved particle size is here small, and colloid solution means the dissolved particle size is here large. But colloid solution not in your syllabus, so here we only discuss about true solution. Here the solution only refers to true solution. Now what is solution? Solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more components whose composition can be changed by changing amounts of the components. That means it is a homogeneous mixture of two or more components, and the composition of the solution can be changed by changing amount of components. For example, I am taking 90 gram I am taking 10 gram of NaCl and in dissolved in 90 gram water. So this solution has a particular composition. Now if we change the amount of NaCl, say 20 gram now is dissolved in 90 gram water, then the composition of the solution will be changed. So by changing the amount of the dissolved components, we can change the composition. So this is the solution. Now solution may be of different types: binary, ternary, quaternary, depending on the number of components present in solution. When there are two components, it is called binary solution. When there are three components, it is called ternary. When there are four components, it is called quaternary solution. There are two main parts or portion of solution. One is solvent and the another is solute. Now what component we will say it is solvent, or what will be solute? If the two components are in same phase, that is they may be solute, may be liquid or may be gas, they are in same phase, then the component which remains in excess, it is called solvent, and the component which remain in less amount, this is called solute. For example, we take water alcohol mixture. Some small amount of alcohol is added to large amount of water. As here water is taken in large amount, so water is solvent and alcohol is here solute, and both are liquid in same phase. Now if the phase of the two components are different, then the particular component whose phase is the same with the phase of the solution, that is called solvent. For example, we here take sugar solution. Sugar is dissolved in water, then sugar solution is formed, aqueous solution of sugar is formed. Here the phase of the solution is liquid, and also the water component has the liquid phase. So here water is taken as solvent and sugar is in solid phase, so the phase of solution is different from the phase of sugar, so sugar is here taken as solute. Now there are different types of solutions depending on the phase of the components. If both the solute and solvent are solid, then this solution is called solid-solid solution. For example, alloy. Alloy is mixture of different metals. Alloy is a solution, that is solid-solid solution. For example, gold. In gold there remain always some impurity, copper or silver. So copper, silver remains in small amount, these are solute, whereas aurum remains in large amount, this is solvent. So gold is a solid-solid solution. Similarly, brass. Brass is composition of brass is 70% copper and 30% zinc. So copper is here solvent and zinc is solute. Now the second is, if the solute is solid and the solvent is liquid, then this is called simple solution, normal solution, for example sugar solution or salt solution. Here the solute is the solid and sugar or salt, these are solid and dissolved in water. Water is liquid, water is here solvent. Now liquid solution, that means solute is liquid as well as solvent is also liquid. For example water alcohol mixture, when small amount alcohol is added to water, then alcohol is solute, water is solvent. If small amount water is added to alcohol, then alcohol solvent and water solute. Gas, solute is gas and solvent is liquid. This is then that is gas is dissolved in liquid, that is example is soda water. In soda water carbon dioxide gas is dissolved in water under high pressure. So this is the example of gas in liquid solution. Now the properties of a true solution. Number 1 is solute particle size is very small. In true solution, the particle size, the solute which remains dissolved in solution is very small size, is 10 to the power minus 10 meter. This is very small. Number 2 cannot be separated by filtration, as the size of the particles are very small, so the dissolved particles cannot be separated by filtration. Number 3 is on standing no deposition. As the particle sizes are very small, so these particles cannot be deposited on standing of the solution. The particles always remain dissolved in solvent. Number 4 is do not scatter light. Scattering of light means when a light beam falls on a particle. Say this is an incident light beam falls on a particle. After that, due to interaction with the particle, the path of the lights will be different from the incident light. Say incident light is coming in this path, and after interaction with particle, the path of the light ray will be changed. Path will be changed, this is called scattering. That is, the light beam is scattered by this particle, and this scattering is not observed for true solution because the particle size is very small. Scattering of light is observed only when the particle size is large. Number 5 is homogeneous mixture. True solution is always homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture means if we take any part of the solution, then the composition of the solution will be same. Say 1 spoon of any solution from any part is taken, the composition will be same if we take the another spoon from the another part of that solution. So all over the solution the composition will be remain same. That is called homogeneous mixture. Number 6, transparent and clear. As the particles are very small size, they cannot be separated out in our eyes, so this solution is transparent and clear. These are the properties of true solution. Now when the solvent is water, then this type of solution is called aqueous solution, and the solvent other than water, this is called non-aqueous solution. When the solvent is alcohol, this solution is a name, this is tincture. When iodine is dissolved in alcohol, this is called iodine tincture. This is used as antiseptic, this has medicinal use. Now dilute solution. What is dilute solution? When the amount of solute is very small compared to the solvent. Concentrated solution means amount of solute is large compared to the solvent. Now saturated solution. What is saturated solution? At a particular temperature. This is very important in the definition of saturated solution, because solubility of a solute always depends on temperature. At a particular temperature, solution called saturated when it cannot dissolve any more solute at that temperature. That is, at a particular temperature, a solution will be saturated when it dissolves maximum amount of solute. That is, it cannot dissolve further amount of solute at that temperature. Now, saturated solution. What will be the fate of saturated solution when we cool down the saturated solution? On cooling, we know solubility of any solute decreases with decrease of temperature and increases with increase of temperature. So on cooling, solubility of solute decreases, so some solute will be separated out. Similarly, on evaporation of solvent, if the saturated solution is kept undisturbed with mouth open of the container for some days, then some solvent will be evaporated, so some solute will be precipitated out. So in both the cases, some solute will be precipitated out. Then also we get saturated solution, but this saturated solution will be at lower temperature. That is, the solution temperature of the solution is lowered, some solute will be precipitated out, and we get also the saturated solution at that lower temperature. Number 2 is the fate of the solution on heating. If we give heat to the saturated solution, then as the solubility of solute increases with temperature, then the saturated solution becomes unsaturated. Or on addition of some solvent, if some solvent is added to saturated solution, then it can dissolve more and more solute, so such solution becomes unsaturated. Now, supersaturated solution. This is also a particular type of solution. At a particular temperature, it is a solution which contains some greater amount of solute than it contains in its saturated solution at that temperature. Supersaturated solution means at a particular temperature, it contains a greater amount of solute than its saturated solution at that temperature. So how can we prepare saturated solution, supersaturated solution? Say we prepare a NaCl saturated solution of NaCl at room temperature. Then the solution is heated up to a certain temperature, then to the hot condition, at hot condition, some more NaCl is added. At its solubility increases, so some more NaCl is added. After that, the solution is rapidly cooled. After that, the solution is rapidly cooled to room temperature, but the excess solute remains dissolved in the solution. The excess solute is not precipitated out. Then the solution is called supersaturated solution. This type of solution then contains the NaCl, amount of NaCl which is greater than the amount of saturated solution. Why saturated solutions are formed? The number one reason is there is no suspended impurities. If the solution is very pure, then it can be formed. Number 2 is if the solution is kept undisturbed, then the solution can be formed. Now, concentration of solution. Concentration of any solution can be given through different terms. One is mass percent. What is mass percent? Mass percent concentration is given by the amount of solute in mass divided by the amount of solution in mass, that is solvent plus solute, into 100. Say 10 grams NaCl dissolved in 90 ml water. So concentration of NaCl in solution in mass percent that equals to amount of solute in gram, that is 10 gram, divided by amount of solution, means solvent plus solute. Here solvent is 90 ml water, solute is 10 gram NaCl. So 10 plus 90, that is 100, into 100, that is 10%. Now volume percent, it can be given, concentration can be given in terms of volume percent when solute solvent both are liquid. Then you cannot use their amount in mass, then we have to use their amount in volume, that is the volume of solute divided by volume of solution into 100. Say for example 30 ml alcohol mixed with 70 ml water, then concentration of alcohol is 30 ml divided by volume of solution, volume of water 70 plus volume of alcohol 30, so 100, that is 30%. This is the volume percent of alcohol. Now solubility. What is solubility? Amount of solute to be dissolved in 100 gram solvent to prepare a saturated solution at a particular temperature. This is called solubility of that solute. Amount of solute to be dissolved in 100 gram solvent to prepare saturated solution, that is called solubility. Say for example NaCl in aqueous solution, solubility of NaCl is 36.5 gram at 40 degree. That means at 40 degree 36.5 gram NaCl is to be added in 100 gram water to prepare a saturated solution. Similarly, potassium nitrate in aqueous solution, solubility is 65 gram at the same temperature. So both these salts have different solubility. These salts are called highly soluble as their solubility is very high. But silver chloride, it has very negligible solubility, so this salt is called almost insoluble. Its solubility is almost in the order of 0.000015 gram. That is very small amount, almost negligible amount of this salt is dissolved, so this is called insoluble salt. Calcium hydroxide, this has moderate solubility, not very, its solubility neither very high nor very low, so these salts are called sparingly soluble salt. Solubility of calcium hydroxide is 0.15 gram, that is, it has moderate solubility, so this type of salt is called sparingly soluble salt. Okay, thank you.